The Russians disregarded Elon Musk, who is now among the world's billionaires, 20 years ago, but they are now after him. The recent action taken by Elon Musk altered everything. After all, where Musk is right now. Elon Musk is courting Russia once more, but this time he is in complete control. The brisk and smart billionaire revealed his plans to establish a space factory in Russia in September. Musk is open to the notion of setting up factories in Russia as it was the first country to successfully execute a space trip and would provide him with access to a skilled workforce. Without a doubt, Russia's aerospace sector employs some of the world's brightest minds. Additionally, SpaceX's management is currently assessing whether this project would ultimately prove to be possible. But given that it appears as though Russia's space program is essentially non-existent, I'm sure you're asking why. Musk, however, definitely disagrees. During a conference on Russian aerospace, SpaceX already has production facilities in the United States and China, and Musk said to a video audience that the company is now aiming to create factories in several different countries around the world. After the interview, the Russian Ministry of Industry got a special invitation for Elon Musk, which I'll expand on a little bit with the claims made here. Quote, "We are thrilled to hear that Elon Musk is thinking about constructing a factory in Russia. By the way, the state has implemented several support programs for regional OEMs, or original equipment manufacturers. Please visit us. We'll discuss it." Final quote. In addition to having a wealth of natural resources, traditional Russia has made very little investment in the electric vehicle sector, which will undoubtedly be attractive to Elon Musk's Tesla. Due to a lack of widespread charging infrastructure, the auto industry in Russia isn't working on any significant electric car projects at the moment, which can discourage customers from buying electric vehicles. There are also a few electric car manufacturers with substantial infrastructure, but not all of them can compete with Tesla given that Russia has a population of over 144 million. Musk anticipated the arrival of Tesla's electric vehicles in the area. As we previously stated, Musk has used Russian space technologies before. The first time Musk attempted to invest in the nation's space program, the technology didn't go particularly well. Musk was 30 years old at the time, and SpaceX had just been established. He had both time and money, but he lacked the resources for rockets. Additionally, at that time, rockets were still too expensive in the United States. Due to this, there weren't many players in the aircraft industry back then. Musk responded by looking east toward Russia, a country that had previously led the space race but had since lost it due to the fall of the Soviet Union. Similarly to this, Russia's space program was suffering from a significant budget deficit and was in desperate need of funds. Musk visited Russia at the time to meet with Russian space officials. Musk was a multimillionaire at the time, with a net worth of over $200 million. Musk, however, had had enough after 3 consecutive trips to Russia. This was because they would raise the price of rockets whenever they got together since they desired payment. As they were discussing his rockets, one of Musk's rocket designers attacked him. He conveyed during the negotiations that his rockets were military hardware rather than items that wealthy Western business people could purchase for their garages. The designer only wrote this for Musk at that time and spat it all over his work. Jim Cantrell, a colleague of his, he had given up on Russia because of this and would build his rockets instead. 20 years later, the situation has changed, and Russian space authorities are pleading for help. Elon Musk for his financial support of Russia's aerospace sector. Dmitry Rugo, the CEO of Roscosmos, recently approached SpaceX's CEO via Twitter, following his tweet about the latter and its rather hyped-up invitation. "Greetings, Mr. Elon Musk. A fresh expedition will launch for the International Space Station on October 5th. As part of it, we intend to send a cinematographic team from the top television network. It is our responsibility to report manned flights accurately." A second quote about the ongoing risk and profound emotional impact of all space flight organizations was posted in response to the first tweet. "They think that the rain's ending of the thread panic must out, and if you do, I'll be happy to see you on October 5th at the Beer Cosmodrome in the Cosmonoptics birthplace of the globe. I would be happy to meet you in person," he continued. "We're waiting for you, come." As NASA's press secretary, Regin invited Musk on the same day that the TASS claimed that Nelson had received a formal invitation for a meeting from Regin. Jackie Maginnis said that once the COVID-19 restrictions were relaxed, Nelson was eager to meet Mr. Regin. It's not obvious, though, if Musk is interested in speaking about something deeper and more meaningful or whether Regin is just asking him to show up for an interview. However, since Musk and Regin haven't truly been dating, it's also odd that they were both invited. Regin, in fact, frequently criticizes Musk and SpaceX and how they conduct business. Elon Musk of SpaceX was charged with seeking to disparage its rivals by making sarcastic barbs at Russia's space program in an opinion post by Regin that was published in June 2021. Regin has allegedly changed his attitude on SpaceX and other commercial space travel businesses while employing dishonest, underhanded methods to disparage its competitors. In general, Regin described it as a significant achievement for the aerospace sector and a revolution for the business. Additionally, he made mention of oligarchs and billionaires from Russia. He claimed that wealthy Russians preferred to construct yachts rather than spacecraft. an assertion to which Elon Musk responded with a smiley face emoji. In the past, Musk has also frequently disparaged and made fun of Russia's space programs. He would occasionally crack a joke about Roscosmos. The odd thing about this scenario is that NASA has recently distanced itself from other countries that are leading the international space race by turning its back on NASA. Invitations to Nelson and Musk are even more challenging to understand under these light regulations. What justifies his kind treatment of them, then? What ulterior motive does the Russian government have? Reddit users speculated that the Russian space agency was attempting to persuade Musk through its inquiry into the topic that it is impossible to send humans into space because it is an achievement achieved by the Russians more than 60 years ago. They might simply want to work out a deal with NASA and SpaceX as soon as possible. However, given the enormous amount of work that Tesla and SpaceX have been doing so far, it is tough to say whether Elon Musk will accept Rain's offer. Musk divides his time between the two businesses and Neuralink. Musk most likely doesn't have much time to meet with someone he hasn't talked to in a while. This is comparable to seeing Musk and Bezos enjoy a tea party at a New York coffee shop. Is that not absurd? It resembles Rain Bezos in some ways. Additionally, invites and reigns serve as a stark reminder of how terrible things have gotten for an organization that was once at the forefront of the space race, and was responsible for the first launch of a tourist into space following the fall of the USSR almost 20 years ago. Even Ruo confesses that Roscosmos has had financial issues. Elon Musk lauded them for being one of the most organized minds in the space sector and acknowledged that some of the RS's grandiose aspirations had been realized. After the Soviet Union's collapse forced Roscosmos to halt the majority of its grandiose initiatives, he continued by saying that Musk ought to visit Russia and be made a VIP of the family because he is a trailblazing inventor who isn't scared to take any risks for the future of humanity. And what his goal is. As part of the space race, it is to talk with SpaceX about all the possibilities for astronomical exploration, the search for extraterrestrial life, and viable solutions to protect life on Earth. Wherein also suggested that Russia has less interest in working with other nations. Regin boldly declared that Roscosmos would exit the ISS program as soon as some of the severe penalties imposed on Russian businesses and their foreign operations were eliminated. If they cooperate, the sanctions have been instantly withdrawn. If not, they won't cooperate and will construct their stations, Regin had adamantly warned in June. Additionally, the US's combined sanctions on Russia prevented any US company with connections to the Russian military from doing business with Russian firms. Additionally, according to Regin, if the US keeps going in this direction, then Cosmos will deploy its space station by 2030. Now, it appears that Roscosmos wants to work with Elon Musk and give SpaceX access to Russian borders. This demonstrates how performing well at work will always result in an invitation, regardless of whether you like the person. Given that, do you think Musk will be able to grow the aerospace sector in Russia, or do you think he'll reconsider it as he did 20 years ago? Thanks for watching the video.